of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Hello, welcome to the channel. I did have this originally titled as an episode because originally I was going to speak about football. I was going to speak about my thoughts on people's thoughts about Tottenham and football related things. So I see the chat. I see what y'all have been saying. I see the text messages that are rolling in. People, don't do it. Don't do this. Don't say this. Don't do that. Look, I didn't create this channel to take orders, listen to nobody. I've held my tongue thus long about Stelios from Tottenham away. I've held my tongue this long for long enough. I was just hold my tongue. It has nothing to do with football. So again, if you're here, you're like, oh, I want to hear what his differing opinion on Ainge and the club. And no, I ain't even here to talk about none of that. All right. The reason this started late, I was on another channel. And I apologize to Ahmed from the bridge because this is a very personal thing to me. I like to have fun. I like to have immaculate vibes. If you're here for a regular show, that's not going to happen. Not right now. Not this stream. So you can tune into the next one. I apologize. But I've held my tongue too long. This whole, I saw Paul's video. I made a thumbnail with Paul's face in it. I thought it was hilarious. Shout out Paul, the Hotspur hippie. And then I thought, let me make it a little bit more serious. And then let me provide Sava's context. Because Sava is a person whom, as a human, I rate. So I've seen a bunch of people talking about Stel, Sava. You got to differentiate the two. Because as human beings, I would absolutely differentiate them in every category imaginable to the human mind. I would also say this. So you're going to have to forgive me. This is not easy for me. This is not something I wanted to do or have. It's been about 2 years. You would say probably, oh, Jacob, whatever it is, you could probably get over it. It ain't that bad. I did. I moved on. I don't forgive. Fuck no. And when I see you, I'm fucking seeing you. And you know what it is. And if I need to show proof, I will. If there's a rebuttal, I'll show proof. Now, you can say what you want about what it is and what it's not. But there's people that he has admitted that he regrets doing this to. Not one, not two, not three, not four. So clearly this is not what I have that I don't want to play, that I don't want to do this whole lifting skirts and then this drama back and forth. He said, she said, I ain't trying to do that. I swear to God. I put that on God. I swear on everything. Now yesterday was the passing, well, not the passing, but September 3rd, 2011 is the date that my mother passed away. And it has nothing to do with this. But around this time of the year, I get especially emotional as a human being because of that. For the last 13 years, that's something I've struggled with, and I admit that. But one thing, my sweet beloved mother, may she rest in peace, that she taught me is when someone does something so disgusting and so nasty, when they cross a certain line, there is no need to meet them at that line because their line, their bar is an actual hell. That's what my mother's told me. So you know what I do? I talk shit with the best of them. I go back and forth with the best of them. Now, I'm not reading the chat. I can't look at the chat. Y'all will distract me. I read the chat before the show started. I see what y'all were saying. But I'm just going to start from the beginning with my experience with this man, Stelios, Tritios. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't give a fuck anymore what you think you can do to me. Because you ain't got shit. And the only reason I ain't never said nothing is because I love my son. And what you said about my son cuts deeper than anything I could ever imagine a grown man would say to another grown man. Now, it's no secret. A lot of people behind the scenes understand the pain that I felt when he said this to me. Took everything not to just fly to the UK, find that little fucking man and beat his head in myself. But I have a family to look after. I'm a full-time dad. I can't just give up my job, go beat this ugly bitch. I mean, I could. I wanted to, but I didn't. And I don't. And I won't. Unless that motherfucker find me. He just better, I'm big enough. And when you see me, just make sure you don't let me see you. I ain't about this fronting on the internet type keyboard warrior shit when it comes to my family. All right? You talk about my family? I got nothing left to say. So let me go back to the beginning. That's where I'm at right now. Okay? I'm going to go back to the fucking beginning. About 3 years ago, I'm doing a landscaping job. I'm seeing my DMs. I don't remember where he DM'd me exactly, because when he did what he did to me, I erased everything that I had connected to him because I didn't know that I could trust myself if I had a line of communication with this man. So 3 years ago, let's go back. 3 years ago, I get messaged in some shape or form by a man named Stelios. Says, oh, I've seen you and Michael, y'all doing your thing. You just started out, which is a trait that he does with other small channels, by the way. It's a reoccurring thing, by the way. He comes to us. We just started putting I think we did like one upload on YouTube or something, 2 uploads. It was real shitty. I'm sure you could find them. And he says, hey, y'all interested in coming over and doing a weekly show? Views from the Americans. We'll make it like an American spin on it. And you guys eventually, like, once I teach you the ropes, we'll hand it off. We'll teach you how to do things. And the reason I'm bringing this up is also, let me just show this. This is what he said to me today off his burner account. Said, I'm still standing. Very clever. Says, posting videos of a time before I spoke with Paul on the phone and we cleared the air. Now, True Colors Jacob is trying to stir up the past. So this last sentence is the part that made me say, you know what? That show I had, fuck that show. Fuck you. I'm coming after you. I ain't holding my tongue no more. You can fuck off. Never forget, Spurs fans, Tottenham away put Jacob on the map. Our little kid wants some attention from daddy. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you don't have kids. As far as I understand, you live with your brother. I live with my wife and my kids. So when you talk about kids, you talk about daddy, you talk about this shit, guess what? I got triggered. You say, daddy, I'm the father of a son that you want to take the fucking piss out of. Hell no. I bit my tongue because my son doesn't deserve to get dragged into this. And this ain't for clicks. This ain't for views. I'll turn the money off. I don't give a fuck. I was just on a show with hundreds of people. He said, I'll redirect you afterwards. I said, please don't redirect to me. You don't believe me? Go to the bridge. I said, please don't redirect to me. I'm not talking football. This ain't football. So Rich, I saw Rich earlier. Big up Rich, a person I have great discussions with on this channel via the comments. He doesn't agree with all my takes on Tottenham. I don't agree with all his. Keep it amicable. That had nothing to do with Tottenham and nothing to do with Ainge. Spurs, none of that shit. So if you're here for that again, it's not happening here today. This ain't a football show today. This is a fucking expose. This is what I went through, and I ain't gonna let this pussy talk shit on my name no more. Never forget, Spurs fans, Tottenham away, put Jacob on the map. Don't forget it neither. Don't forget it. Please don't. Because everything I'm about to tell you, I would hope that you don't forget it. Now, I have receipts and I have hard drives where I have stuff backed up. I can obtain. I've shown people. I showed Iggy, who works on Tottenham away. Most of this ain't even aimed at Iggy, JP, none of them. Shout out Shy. Shout out Will. Got no problems with Will. Mari. Shout out Mari. No problems with Mari. But it's unfortunate that they have to be included in this by proxy. And I think Sava's getting that too. So let me again clarify. This has nothing to do with Sava. Everything I'm about to talk to you about got zero to do with Sava, got zero to do with Tottenham opinions. Because Rich is right. Well, where was the comment? I had it scrolled up at the top, and I'll actually pull it up. Because I agree. It's quite distasteful to attack the views of other channels. It's not a view of the other channel. It's an individual of the other channel. How he treated me as a human being and who I perceive this man to be as a human being based on his repeated behavior to not only myself, but other individuals that I know. And you don't got to ask a whole bunch of motherfuckers to find out just how dirty of a bastard this man is. So as far as I'm aware, they're not making videos on your channel. They might now. I don't know. I don't give a fuck though. I really don't. All the spam accounts can come in. I stand with Stel and Tottenham way. Stand with them all you want. I don't give a fuck. I ain't telling nobody what to do. I'm not a cult leader. I'm not Jim Jones. I'm not a fear mongerer. I'm not a Chicken Little. Oh, let me just make everyone think the one line of thinking. And if you think otherwise, let me belittle you. Nah, I ain't even here to talk about that. That's the whole thing. That's him as a content creator. He do him. That's the way I always approached it. Out of respect for Iggy. Out of the respect for those aforementioned individuals. I don't want to use their names because they don't deserve any of it. I promise. Other than the fact that some of them stuck around him despite knowing everything I'm about to tell you. And providing the evidence that I will not show today. I'll put it that way. If I have to, I will. But I will not play it today. I will not show it today. But again, just leave it. If you don't want to hear about this, no one asked you to be here. It ain't about Tottenham opinions. See, Don Vito said, Jacob, why did you remove Sava? Because unlike Stelios, I rate Sava as a human being. I want Sava to prosper as a human being. I want nothing but great things for Sava, his wife, his family, and anyone he loves. That's why. It was originally a show about opinions. And it was going to be like a fun, I was going to try and do it like fun, lighthearted. And be like, I love Paul, I love Sava. You're allowed to feel however you want to feel about this club. That's kind of the angle I was going to take. So that's why Sava's not in the... And I know people feel about Sava how they want to feel. And that's not what it's about today. It's about Stelios. I digress. I'm going to get away from these comments as well, so I'm not distracted. Shout out Sava, Football Heritage TV. Absolutely subscribe. If you're a subscriber of this channel, you've probably heard me say something quite often. I like to support good people's channels. I always support the good guys. I always allude to it. I always lightly allude to there's people who hold similar. I hold a lot of similar footballing opinions that Stel has, surprisingly enough. But that's it. That's where I draw the line at the football. Because when you dig a little bit deeper, you find out who this man is. Anyone who's had extensive contact with him will tell you, they'll tell you their own experience. So I'm just going to tell you mine. Ain't that sweet? I can just sit up here and tell you mine. Jacob was made by Tottenham away. Yeah. That's where we want to start with it. So I'm going to go back 3 years. Just doing a little Tottenham show during, talking with Michael. And we say, hey, okay, cool. Well, what's in it for, not what's in it for us, but this will be a cool venture. He's like, we got 1,000, 2,000 subscribers, something like that. I think they're at like 1,750 or 2,750, something like that. So I'm like, hey, this would be a good way. We just started our YouTube channel. I think we got like 69 subscribers, and I thought that was cool. I screenshot it. Still got the screenshot of the 69, by the way. And he says to us, let me make sure I've got this not distracting me here. He said to us, we'll promote you. We'll promote your channel, your name. We'll help you get your name out there. So I said, okay, great. Fantastic. Big up Stel. This is great. He had a big, tall, funny looking hat. Funny accent. And he wants to talk to us, these American dudes. Fantastic. We got like 10 subscribers. And we were mostly on Spotify. We didn't even really do video. He's like, no. The money. You need to come over to YouTube. That's where the money is. Oh, that's where the money is. Okay. Fair enough. He says, don't worry, if this grows and becomes bigger and we're making money, we'll come to some kind of term later on down the road. We'll figure it out. Perfect. Perfect. We just want to get the ball rolling. Perfect. Yeah. So get the ball rolling. Dude's streaming on the original Tottenham Away. If you know Tottenham Away, you could probably know that they got shut down once before. Now, I had nothing to do with that. As much as he tried to do, he did try to come after me and say that it was me and my brother from Limerick, Spurs. I ain't gonna say his name because ain't nobody need to be incriminated in this. But he tried to accuse me and this gentleman from Limerick that we tried to shut his channel down. This is after the fact. So I'm kind of jumping. This is like a Quentin Tarantino film. I'm jumping back. I'm going here, going here. I already told you where I'm at right now. But right on around over here. Start saying stream from about a year. I think it was. Maybe a little less. 10 months, somewhere around there. Not exact numbers. These are all rough. And it was roughly 3 years ago. It could be less, could be a little bit more in 3 years. I'm not quite sure either. But he starts saying, I want you to run this, I want you to run that, do this. And it's going to be your show. You invite the guests, you do this. We're going to put your channel in it, and we're going to do this for you. And then the super chats started coming in on that show. And I didn't say nothing at first. I said, okay, it's his channel, whatever. Even though he says this is our channel, we're a family, right? Like every corporate fucking business you run into, right? We're a family. Now here's a skinny slice of pizza. We're a family. Don't worry. I said, it's YouTube. What's a $10 super chat? But this was the first instance where I said, I'm going to actually see if he's good to his word on that, because I'm not going to name her name, but a very well-known woman in the Spurs YouTube, I guess it doesn't really narrow, it does significantly narrow it down, but a supporter of this channel, that channel, every channel, really. She's a fantastic individual. I love her very much. She super chatted one of these shows because she liked Michael and mine content. She's like, wow, they got a fresh perspective. They do things differently, and their sense of humor is different. And she liked it. So she sent two $50 pounds, excuse me. And at the time, pounds were worth way more than a US dollar. Neither here nor there. She sends two of them. And in the first super chat says, Stelios, this is for Michael. Can you please make sure that he gets this? The second one, something along that lines, not verbatim. I wish that old channel was still up. Why would I want to shut down all the evidence that I had of my association with you, of the money that I did track, how much, look, I'm digressing. So there's a super chat too of 50. So $100 total spent by a big supporter who said, I just want to make sure that they get this money in some way, shape, or form was said in both of those super chats. And he said, don't worry. I will make sure that they get this verbatim. Okay, cool. So he's actually going to pay me for what Michael and I are doing. Now I can go to my wife, whom is still in school at this time to be a music therapist, which she is now and making money. But at the time, I wasn't making any money. My wife wasn't making any money. We were living off her student loan money. So I said to him, as a friend that I've been streaming for months, I say, you're my friend. We're a family, right? My little skinny slice of pizza. We're family. I'm coming to you man to man to tell you I'm having financial troubles. So if there's any way, whatever YouTube takes out of what was sent to us, I don't care. Michael said, and Michael was on the phone. Michael said, you can have my share of the money, Jacob. So I said, cool. I'll just sort it out with Stel then. Perfect. And again, it may sound like $50 to you. At the time, to feed my wife and my newborn son, who was born with disabilities. And if you have a child with disabilities, you know everything that goes in hand with that, taking care of them specifically. So I just said, it would be very great if I could turn to my wife, and I'm saying this man to man. I said, Stel, man to man, friend to friend, family to family, because I've been streaming for you for however long, and you're the best connection I got with Tottenham. Please, can you just send me, if it's $10, $20, whatever it is, that I could turn and take it to my wife and say, here, that 2 hours I spent yapping about some fucking club in England was worth it because I brought you something. You said, I understand, Jacob. I sympathize with your plight. Perfect. Download Revolut. I still have the fucking app on my phone. Download Revolut. I'll send you the money. Perfect. Just wait for YouTube to send it. It's next month. Perfect. Oh, the YouTube money, blah, 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 next month. Perfect. Next month, next month, next month. I don't say shit. But you know what does get said in between these months of continual pushing back on what you said you would do? We come to an agreement because I bring this forward and I say it to Iggy, and Iggy, as a good man, as a father and a husband who understands what it's like to be a father, he sympathized and he said, Stel, let's all get on a group call and let's all talk about this and square it up. What's the agreement? What are we doing? So we got on a call. We all came to an agreement. He tried to say, oh, I want all the super chats to go to building us a studio, getting us mics and headphones and cameras. Well, I already bought my camera. I already bought my microphone. So is Michael. We don't need that. Send us our share. Michael says, you can send Jacob my share, because he was getting a really good job. If you remember, that's why he left the damn show. His job and his life started progressing so rapidly, and I loved it for him. But that wasn't happening for me. I quit my job to take care of my child who was born immunocompromised. And I've lived my life this very day. And every day I leave my house with a respirator mask if I'm in contact with anybody, because I cannot afford to get my son sick. So what do? I turn to YouTube, and it makes a little bit of money. Not a lot, man. Not enough. But I work as hard as I can in between my shit. And I have for years. Fuck with Stel. Fuck anybody who don't want to help. I don't give a fuck. I did it for me and my family, man. And this motherfucker pushed me around for months. Next month, next month, next month. Okay. But when we came to an agreement, that's where I drew the line. Said, now I need to see it. Then he said, oh, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. So we start butting heads a little bit. There's another moment but before all this, where I explained to him, as your friend, in these group chats that we're in, because I was a part of all these group chats now, being a part of Tottenham Away and Stel. And I said, there's language that you use that I am uncomfortable with, specifically the R word. And he was really the first person to that point in my life that when I said I'm uncomfortable with that word being used around me, for this reason, as a friend, I expressed, I have a child with a disability. That word is offensive to me. I would please prefer it if you do not use that word around me. I don't care if you use it tomorrow when you're not around me. I don't care if you use it in all the other group chats that you're in. Really does not bother me in the slightest. Just when I'm around as a friend, which I thought we were, working cohabitant, employee as he wanted to treat me, I felt like that was a respectable thing to ask. A simple, respectable thing to say, please don't use the R word in my presence. It's offensive. I take literal offense to it, you fuck. You bald piece of shit. You short motherfucker. Little shrimp dick looking bitch. You think any of that's your fault? You were born like that. But I don't take the piss out of you. No one take the piss out of you for that. I'm gonna get abused. But then you abuse everybody. Not just me either. Countless people. Hotspur Hippie, most recently, it was brought to my attention via a tweet. I don't know if you've seen it, but I digress. Let me finish the story and then I'll show you some more things. There's just so much that I gotta say. I don't know what to say first. I think that's my problem here. I held this in so long because this shit was stupid as fuck, dog. Literally. I think I was 30-some-year-old at this point, not 33, which I am now. I was telling my wife, I said, you'd be surprised how much YouTube is like high school. Drama, gossip, Stelios saying, don't talk to this person. One time he screenshot, I tweeted something at Matt Hayes from Last Word on Spurs. I seen him on the Irish Hotspur or something, which was another thing. Oh, you can't talk to Irish Hotspur. Don't talk to Matty Hayes. Don't talk to these people. I have problems with them. They did me dirty. It was like, okay, so that person did you dirty. That person did you dirty. That person, oh, just so many people did him dirty that I can't talk to. So I tweeted at Matty Hayes. He screenshot it, sent it to me 5 minutes after I tweeted it, and said, "How dare you?" Or he said, we're not supposed to associate with him. He speaks ill, and he's a snake, and he did me dirty." Okay, first time I believed him. Second person, I believed him again. Third person, I said, okay. Fourth person, I said, there's a lot of people that do you wrong. You must be the unluckiest dude ever, or something's not right here. Because the only world that I had at that time was Tottenham away, was all the Tottenham I had as an American, or listening to Last Word on Spurs on Spotify, which they're a problem as well, if you didn't know. According to Stel, just for clarification. So it's all these people I can't associate with. I can't talk to certain people. You're not paying me what you said you would pay me. I brought the group in, and now you're not living up to what the word of the group that we all decided you're not living up to. Excuse, month after month. So then, instead of creating drama and being a fucking loser like he would, Michael and I talked, we said, you know what? The best thing for us to probably do is just say, hey, we should separate, and we're going to focus on our own thing, and we're not going to do any more shows, and there's no beef, and we do it nicely. And Michael, like a naive, beautiful soul that he is, he said, I really don't think Stel's going to get all that mad if we just say we want to focus on our own channel. And I said, oh, I think he's going to freak out, bro. And you know what happened? The moment that we made it known that we were like, hey, this Friday is going to be our last show. So next Friday, and we told him, I think the day before, the day before, it doesn't really matter. But we told him, we're going to do this show. It's our last one. We're going to make it our farewell. Now we're going to be on this channel, which is ours, that we're going to work on. And when we told him we were going to work on our own thing, he did exactly what I thought he would do, which was what Michael thought he wouldn't do, because he told us originally, oh, don't worry. Whenever you want to just focus on your own thing, you can focus on your own thing. That was part of the opening pitch that day when I was doing landscaping for my father-in-law's business that we created. Don't worry. We'll promote you. We'll push you. And anytime you want to pull away, it's all good. Just like a cult. And then as soon as I leave, guess what a cult does? They cut you off. They blacklist you. And that's exactly what happened in the Tottenham sphere that I knew it at the moment. Because like the world before whatever Christopher Columbus did to make it a full globe, I was this is all I know. All I know is Tommy Talks Ball and Tottenham Away. And I couldn't remember what other fucking dickhead shows I watched at the time, but that's all I knew was his little circle. I didn't know a world outside of it. So then what I did, we tell him in a group chat, what everybody can see. Hey, this is going to be our last show. And they got all pissed off. Oh, you didn't give us any heads up. Iggy was pissed. Everyone was pissed. Oh, you didn't give us any heads up. You didn't let us know. Well, we're letting you know. This is going to be our last show. And then next week, you got 8 days to sort out your host for next Friday. Because we held a show on Fridays. And anyone who watched Tottenham Away back then, you know this is true. So then we were like, we're going to focus on our own channel. And at that point, I think the message hadn't gotten across because JP or Iggy or someone in the group chat had messaged being like, hey, you need more guests for tonight. And I messaged back something to the effect of, yeah, it would be great if all of you could join because then we could do it like a big going away party. And Stel said, Jacob and Michael aren't going to be on the show. I will be taking care of it. I have my own guests. And then he kicked us from the group and he blocked us. And I'm like, whoa, that's weird. I was just fucking streaming 7 days ago. He's talking about all the different things. Planet Hotspur. We're going to get all those small channels and make it one big channel, Planet Hotspur. He's trying to sell us on a dream 7 days ago. Now you're blocking me. Why? Why are you blocking me? Because I gave you 8 days notice? I didn't know. I was supposed to give you 2 weeks like a fucking employee. So, at this juncture, Michael and I look at each other and say, well, fuck it, bro. We'll just make our own StreamYard account. We'll just go live on our own channel. And maybe we say, fuck you. Well, that was my idea. He said, nah, let's just do a show. Let's just say this is our new era. We're doing our thing. You're right, Michael. Let's do the bigger man thing. Perfect. Let's go for it. But then what happens? Old Tommy Dickless Talks Ball says, oh, I'm not going to let you on my show anymore. Oh, Colin can't have a show on my show anymore. Because why? Because of me. Because apparently I'd done something to Stel so wrong, he felt that all this was necessary, blocking me like I was a girl that broke up with him in high school and he'd been single since, and that's probably a true story. And bear with me as I make minor, immature digs at this little dickhead. And I swear on my mother's name, you can send me your address, we could square it up. Fist to fist. I'll send you my address, we could square it up. Fist to fist. And that ain't even a threat, buddy. That's just a proposition, because that's how I feel about it. And it's not no funky, oh, he said, she said shit. I'm going to go back. So now we're at this juncture. Do I talk shit about Stel and expose this or not? So I'm a frustrated individual. Oh, there's all this money he agreed to pay us that he's not going to pay us now because we fell out with him and he blocked us. How else can I ask him? Did the math, took 40% out for YouTube, came out to around a conclusion. It was about $270 that he owed us. That's both of us combined, like 130 a piece, 135 a piece, I think it was. And so 270 to me is where I think it was, somewhere around there. And I remember it's just like, all right, you know what? Fuck the 270. I'm going to do my thing. And that's what we did. That's how the channel started. And that's what we ran with. And I didn't say a fucking thing. But behind the scenes, what he was doing was going to everybody that I knew, which was this very, very small world at the time, saying, don't have Jacob on, doing what he has said to Matty Hayes about Irish Hotspur, about all these people, naughty boys, don't talk to him. He did me wrong. They're snake. Now I'm one of that. Now everyone that I was trying to do shows with, have on my channel, not going to do it now. Because Stel said so. The leader, the truth speaker, the facts. Everything I'm saying is facts. My little digs are probably a little opinionated, but these are facts, baby. And facts of the matter are, like, I never expected him to respond that way. Therefore, I was upset. So him and we spend the next maybe 7 days-ish, 10 days-ish, trading slight shit on WhatsApp, text messages back and forth, talking shit. I'm talking shit, he's talking shit. But it's about him. It's about me. And then there's one point where he says something about my son. He says my son is the way that he is because of the way that I am. Now, if he would have said it that way, I probably wouldn't have gotten so upset about it. But what he did, as a person who knew I was struggling financially, he took the piss out of the fact that I didn't have a job. He said, let me know your bank info so I can send you that $10 you're crying about. It was 270. But let me say, this is all things he said to me. And I have proof of this. I could pull it up. It's fucking moot at this point. And you're just wasting my time because I ain't got that kind of fucking time like Stel to, I got this screenshot and this one and this one. I have kids. I have photos of my kids. I keep I keep all the shit, the photos of my kids. I don't have time for this. But there's little things that I did save, like these interactions. And I do have it. And he knows it. Iggy knows it. I showed Iggy. One of his responses was a voice note saying what I said earlier, but only he used the word that I said. I'm uncomfortable with you using this word. Now remember, this is two things now that I've told this man in confidence, man to man, friend to friend, family to family, that I don't have a lot of money right now. I'm waiting for my wife to get her certification so she can begin making real money. And then we'd be all right. But these $10 super chats people send to me on my show that I'm doing on your channel, I need it. Plain and simple. Dog eat dog. I'm a man trying to provide for my newborn, my wife, who had a traumatic birthing thing I ain't even going to get into. We are recovering from all this. And I'm just trying to put a little food on the table talking about Tottenham. Not even a lot of food on the table, just a fucking burger for one of us. It wasn't even a lot. Trivial. $2.70, bro. And he says, now I apologize for using this word. It breaks my heart that I'm about to use it with y'all, I swear. He said, Jacob, your son is a retard because you are a retard. Once a retard, always a retard. Now, when he said that to me, that was it. Block, done. Move on. Move on, because when I find him, I'm hurting him in every imaginable way. That's it. I got nothing left to say. We could shit talk about your shit opinions. We could shit talk about my shit opinions. Shit talk about me. You can call me whatever the fuck you ever want to fucking call me. But you say shit about my son and you say it's my fault. It ain't nobody's fault. It's a neurological disorder. It ain't nothing to take the piss out of nobody for. And if you're one of those people, I don't fucking want you in my chat. I don't fucking want you on this channel. I hope you fuck off. If you support somebody that can say that to a father, fuck you. Everybody who ride with him, fuck you too. So if you catch collateral damage, that's on you. From this point forward, that's it. And I said, I'll always be the bigger man in this moment. I'm not going to stoop to his level. Bite my tongue. But then he accused me of shutting his channel down like I have time for some stupid ass high school drama bullshit like that. I don't even know how to fuck to shut down a channel. My YouTube channel, if you look, it started in 2010 when I was in college uploading fucking videos for my projects. Because I went to RTVB Broadcasting, by the way. Now, I didn't know shit about YouTube, but apparently I'm trying to shut him down, trying to shut down the Truth Speakers. We don't agree, so I'm shutting down Truth. Me and the dude from Limerick working together in cahoots. Show me the data. Sure, I got that photo saved somewhere. Where if you follow him on YouTube and you saw in the community section of 3-post unhinged rant about how me and this dude from Limerick are shutting him down and get the people from FBI involved. Let's see the data and shit and all this. Meanwhile, me and the dude from Limerick are reading it laughing because you're a fucking lunatic. And I still, out of respect for Iggy specifically, don't say shit. Keep my mouth shut. But what I do at this point is I make a threat. I say, keep pushing, motherfucker. Keep pushing me. I'll release all the evidence you want to find. Iggy says, maybe we can talk about this. Show me. Nick, Barry Collis and Ranjit used to be part of Shelfside Shelf Spur Show. Can't remember if there was someone else. But I asked Nick, Barry Ranjit to be the mediator. I want you as a witness. When I play this clip of Stel saying that atrocious thing to me, so y'all see it. I'm not a fucking, oh, he used AI. Yeah. I played it for him. Which, by the way, Iggy was like, oh, if all the evidence you're claiming you have is true, I will disassociate from him, which he didn't do. I don't give a fuck. I've never told anybody what to do. You can associate with him all you want, Iggy. I don't give a fuck. But you said you would. Now, that's just not living up to your word. That's something I don't even care about it. I really don't. I think Iggy is a good dude. And I think he has a great family. And it sucks I had to fall out with him because of some loser. But it is what it is. Because at the end of the day, you talk about my family, I will bring the wrath of Genghis Khan and 10,000 dynasties upon your fucking head when I see you. That's just what it is. I like playing fun. I like having a good time. But you don't know where I'm from. You don't know what I've done. You don't know things that I've seen. So when motherfuckers want to push me, motherfuckers want to test me, I tend to tell myself, today's going to be a good day because I ain't going to engage. And I did it for years and years and years and years and years. I held it in. I said, just because he said this nasty thing to me, whatever. He's just a nasty human, and I moved on with my life. But I told Iggy, if he ever mentions me, you better keep handles on your fucking dog. That dog ever bark at me, look at me wrong, I just might share my story, which is what I'm doing right now. Because motherfucker want to say this to me today. I needed you to do it to me today. Never forget, fans, Tottenham away put Jacob on the map. And then tried to rip me off that map and burn the map so I ain't have any kind of compass to guide myself. That's fine. I'm a big boy. I'll sort it out on myself. And I did. Look at the channel. My partner in crime, Michael, left to pursue his other things. And I still did this. And it grew more. And then, you know what? More and more people liked me. So maybe you did put me on the map, Stelios from Tottenham away. But you know what you didn't do? Was anything good as a human being for me. Not a damn thing. But you know what else he did send me? This is the fun part. He tried to use me to absolve himself. I guess he started feeling guilty at some point. So this motherfucker texts me some long shit. And it let me just preface this. He says, it's definitely not a cult, guys. June 25th, he texts me saying, hope you're well and all is good. There's something I want to share with you. For the past 25 years, I've been behaving inauthentically. And the last 5 years, I've got much worse, which is the reason I've been this way in recent years. And then he goes on. And it's this like chat GPT ass fucking general ass apology he probably sent to the 10 people he was the worst to and was like, I'm sorry. I joined a Landmark forum. I Googled the Landmark forum. The top 5 searches were, is Landmark forum a cult? How do I get my family member out of Landmark forum? That's another story for another day. But this man goes to a forum and starts trying to absolve himself of guilt in June this year. And I just read it and I didn't even respond. Fuck am I going to say to this weird shit? I'm not interested. I'm married. Like this is how long it is, bro. This is his name. Stelios, G-A-F-A-N field. Like, I will stop moving it so it fucking focuses. And this is what he sent me about this Landmark forum. I don't read messages as long as this typically, but I read it because he's a piece of shit and wanted to hear what he had to say. But at the very end, I like this part. P.S. I haven't joined a cult. Thanks for listening. Yeah, you're welcome. So I just left it on red, moved on with my life because I moved on with my life. But then he wants to claim that I'm showing my true colors, stirring up past from the beef from the past. This is before I spoke with Paul, the Hotspur hippie. What happened when Paul and you talked today, though? He tell you to fuck off? Because Stelios threatened Paul today. He said, Paul, take that down. Or don't like the comments. Which is weird. Why are you so weird, Stelios? You fucking weirdo. Get a life. Reading comments on Hotspur hippie, being like, don't stop liking their comments. This isn't high school. You're fucking 40 plus. Get a goddamn life. And you are good at speaking about football. I will give him, that is the only credit I can give him as a living specimen on this earth. That he can talk about football good and he does have a good football brain. But everything else is a shit human being. And there's been plenty of shit humans in the history of life that have been good at something while shit as a human garbage. I stand on what I say. I say it to his face. I say it to anybody that like him. I'll say it to any of y'all's face. I don't give a fuck, dog. You are okay with a guy taking the piss out of a dude who's broke, taking care of his disabled son, and you support a man who wants to take that kind of language with me and take away money from me, hours that I stream for him, hours and hours, for weeks and weeks, for about a year. I don't want to say over a year. I don't want to misspeak now. I want to be factual. So then he starts, I'm gonna go back to today. So Paul, the Hotspur hippie, put out a video calling out fans who call out other fans, like Stel and Sava did on a stream that I didn't watch, but I had to look it up eventually. Because like I said, I love Sava. I always subscribe to the Football Heritage TV. Big up Sava, whom he is, he is what they say toxic. That's why in the title originally it was toxic. And then the other one was happy clappers, because I'm called a happy clapper. In his chat, in his comments, it's fine. I don't care. I really don't. What people's opinions of me really don't matter. Because I love my family and I got blessings. I always say I'm too blessed to be stressed. Today I'm a little stressed, but I am still blessed. And how's that for life? You can be two at once. But typically I don't like to lean into bullshit like this because I'm not a clickbait merchant. I'm not looking for likes, subscribes, and shit for this. I said stay away from this because this is stupid drama that I'm now going to address. And that's what I've been doing. But there's still more to the story. So Paul and I, we talk often all the time about a lot of stuff. Obviously, his video didn't go down well with Sava. Sava felt like he was talking about him. And there was a moment in Paul's video that I wanted to look at. I was going to do, how we do react to training. I was going to pull up Paul's video, go through it, stop it, commentate. Then I was going to pull up Sava's, go through it, commentate, stop. And then at the end, be like, I agree with this. I don't agree with this. And I think we all want the same thing for Tottenham. And it was going to be a fun video. I thought maybe a unifying video, maybe one to help ease the tensions during international break. But this motherfucker want to try me. And I've been waiting for a motherfucker to try me. So I'm going to mention some things. And Paul, I hope you're not upset with me. I'm not going to show it. But I do want to talk about the things that you sent me from Stel, which he forwarded you about 8 photos, which were comments from your chat. Wait. That wasn't his first message to you. Let me go to his first message to you. That's the first one you sent me anyway. And then you say something, and if I look at comments on your channels, nothing about me, I don't get it. He says, I thought we were on good terms and able to speak to one another. What you've done is created a massive pile-on. Massive pile-on? From who? Did Paul begin a mudslide of some kind? Like, what are we talking about here?
Because it won't, because of people like this, Gary Huggins, right? Too much.
So this is a stream, Tottenham away. This was on Twitter. We had a little going back and forth. Again, I don't like drama, but this wasn't even me who tweeted this. I'll show you. This was one of the viewers of the channel. Big up Rowan. I followed him today. Didn't realize I wasn't following you, Rowan. But tweeted this and tagged me. Quote, and let me see if I can make this more visible. Quote, I can't believe the amount of abuse we get in the comment sections. We would never talk negative about other content creators. This is something he said time and time again. Time and time again, proves himself a liar.
Because it won't, because of people like this, Gary Huggins, right? Too much negativity here. 25 years, we won nothing. Where's the positivity, Gary? You love failure.
Gary, don't talk to me about Hotspur hippie.
So that's not Stel. There's 2 people here that you can see on the screen. One is Stel, one is Tommy Talks Bollocks, aka the dude who left when the going got good, because guess what? He couldn't stand Spurs fans enjoying themselves while he was so miserable with Spurs. How dare we smile? How dare we laugh? How dare we enjoy ourselves whilst you sit in misery because wham Levy every day, wham Levy. So a comment about Hotspur hippie gets brought up. I don't know who Gary Huggins is. But this is his moment to shine. He's off YouTube. He quit. But guess what? Shit got bad. So guess what he did? Stel, let me come on. I could come on there and spout fucking nonsense for you and be a negative fucking Nancy and wham, which is fine. It's totally cool. But when you start talking shit on people that I actually really, really like, well, you know what? Now I'm getting pissed off. That's how this day was going. I'm getting pissed off. How dare they say this? I don't know when this was. I don't watch this car crash fucking YouTube. I don't subscribe to this shit. Some people do. And I don't care if you do or you don't. You do you, boo-boo. But what I care about is if I'm brought up, people I like are brought up, I take exception to that.
I seen Hotspur hippie just choose on leaves. He's one of those vegans.
I've seen Hotspur Hippie who chews on leaves, is what Tommy said.
That tree hugging LSD taking
I'm not fucking
wizard looking guy, right?
Tree hugging, LSD taking wizard fucking guy. I really don't know what kind of a burn that was, but again, this guy went to high school fucking 30 years ago. So what was funny and then is probably what he still finds funny now, which is why this is such a shit joke. Tree hugging. I love trees. They provide us with oxygen. What's wrong with trees? LSD taking. So you saying you've never experimented with drugs, my friend? Look in the camera. Look in the camera, Stel. You telling, yeah, don't lie to nobody now. Have you ever experimented with drugs, you pussy? No, but you want to project like you're some kind of good fucking person, huh? Oh, let's shame hippie because hippies do LSD. Whoa, man, it's Woodstock. Fucking bum.
Right? He is a joke.
He is a joke.
Call him out. He can come on my show and I'll have it out with him.
See, this is when I refer to things, people always say, you're definitely referring to Sava. And sometimes I am. I made a facts video. A lot of that was Sava's facts. We talked about it. Sava and I talk, in case y'all don't know. Like, we don't have problems personally. The only time we ever dispute is around Tottenham related stuff. I think we even share the same birthday, November 1st. Shout out to Scorpios. But, you know, again, people sometimes don't like it if you're the antithesis of their opinion when it comes to football. So what do? They personally attack you. And this is just a slight quib. This is just what I got showed. I don't watch their show. I'm sure there's thousands more like this that we could find on that fucking shit that I don't subscribe to. Because again, I support good people like Sava, who holds opposite opinions. You should absorb opposite opinions. I just say support good people. Stelios is a piece of shit. Moving on.
With him, right? He swims in failure.
He says Paul swims in failure. He doesn't even know Paul like that.
Epitome of the problem.
He's the epitome of the problem. So this is a fan telling another fan he's a loser. He takes drugs. Just disregard him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You know, he said the same thing too. And I love you, bro, and I'm sorry to bring you into this. Colin from Talking Ball. Make sure you subscribe to Colin from Talking Ball. He tried to do that shit to me with Colin. He's a loser. He takes drugs. He smokes. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Like, we don't know what you do. Dumbass. By the way, he did this before he doxed that woman on Twitter. I don't remember her name. Something with an S. Shannon, I think. Or Shania, I don't know. He put her address out on there because she differed on opinion. And then he blamed it on the things that he went through. He tried to blame it. Oh, my mom died. Give me sympathy. My mom died too. I don't go around abusing people. Fuck you mean? I will wrap this up in short. Is it time? Am I yelling too much?
No, I wanted to ask you a quick question.
Yeah. That's on you?
I was about to order that.
That's okay. Anyway, I digress. Apologies. Shout out my beautiful fucking wife. Shout out my beautiful fucking daughter. Shout out my beautiful fucking son. Who some people, you know, they say, oh, the R word's not a big deal. I don't care how you feel about it. It's about how I feel about it, okay? I don't like it. And when I was his friend, I said, please don't use that word. He pushed back. Most people, like, he's not the first and he's not the last person that I've said, hey, please don't use that word around me. And most people who are decent human beings, they say, oh, okay, my bad. I didn't know you had a problem with it. Sorry, dude. Cool. Perfect. We move on. You could use it tomorrow. Use it in every other conversation, just not the one I'm involved with. That's all I care about. I don't try to tell people how to live their lives like this guy, Stelios. Tree hugging, What's wrong with loving the environment? LSD taking? What's wrong with enjoying your life, taking a little fucking drugs when you're young, being a hippie about it? Who gives a fuck? It's always the shittiest people who want to prop themselves up like they are holier than thou. I don't use drugs. I don't hug trees. And then what do? Talk shit. He's a loser. He bathes in loser. He bathes in being a loser. He constantly just degrade. I've never done that on this channel. This is live on his show, on his channel. And people in the chat, I'm sure right now, I haven't seen anybody. But on my phone, I've got people who work with him. And they are part of it. No, I mean, none of these people. I don't associate with any of these people. Except Dan Hotspur Hood. Or you can't see that. Hang on. Dan the Hotspur Hood's involved, but it's just his photo. And he didn't say shit about this. So again, he wasn't attacking anybody personally. Shout out Dan from the Hotspur Hood. Another person who I had a great conversation with on this channel. We debated. We hashed things out. We disagreed. We argued. He spoke over me. I spoke over him. We interrupted. And then I hope nothing but the best for him. Again, it's not a fucking beef if you defer opinions. And that's what I've told Rich and everybody who's ever deferred with me in the chat. And you know that. The fucking evidence is there. You can go back to any stream of mine. And there's only certain people that really get under my skin. And sometimes I go off on tangents. I start yelling. I start bullshitting at people like Jason Noss. People who take what Stel says as their leader. This is why I brought up the whole remora. These fucking remoras. They go around, oh, what did Stel say? Oh, Stel said what? And then they come into my chat and they go, Stel said this. You're so wrong. I'm a remora. And I think that's fun and cute and like, haha, who cares? It's just football banter. And I get pissed off sometimes. But I just hash it out there live on air. And then I usually apologize to Jason Noss. But he's just specifically the most recent one that did it. But I say all this not to gain anything, not to really do anything. It's because this pussy want to bring my name into it and say he made me. Bitch, you made my life more complicated. Motherfucker, you made me more stressed out with shit. You made my life harder. You made growing my channel more difficult. You were working against me the whole time. And I've seen him do it to not only me, to Colin, to Josh Pavitt. I could go on and on and on. And people, he said, I'll help you. I'll promote you. I'll put you on. I'll get your channel to this and that. My channel didn't start growing till me and Michael started working on it. He didn't do anything for it. Not once. Iggy did a couple times. Shout out Iggy. Again, Iggy's a good dude. This isn't all of Tottenham away. Every single person on there outside of Stelios, I literally have no beef with that I know of or that I give a fuck about. It's him. And in all of YouTube, there's never been anybody that I've ever had a problem with except Stelios. But Stelios in YouTube, everywhere he goes, he has problems with people. Everywhere he goes, this person's the problem. No, this person's the problem. I'll give you another example. There is a certain person, several people who they start out their channel, and this is after me and Stel have fallen out. I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to implicate them. They start out their channel. And they say, well, you know, Stel said he's going to help me. Stel said he's going to help grow my channel. And I think he will. Like, obviously, he's got thousands of subs and hundreds of people watch. Like, yeah, you would think that's a good thing for your channel. Yeah, of course, I support it. And you can ask anybody. I've never once said, don't do it. Be a friend. Don't go on there for me. But there's one time I remember very early on, he tried to tell Leo from Mile High Hotspur, shout out Mile High Hotspur, subscribe to Colin from Talking Ball and Leo from Mile High Hotspur. But there was one time where he was like really, really pushing Leo to let him on his channel and then was saying, oh, Jacob doesn't want me to go on his friends' channels. He tries to stop. He accused me of doing what he was actively doing to me, blacklisting me in the market. So again, a guy that continually worked against me, demeans others, everyone's a snake to him. Everyone does him wrong. But everywhere I go, even with people I vehemently disagree with, like Sava, we don't have personal problems. No one has ever in my life, since my son has been born, granted he's just over 4 years old now, But since he's been born, no one has ever said anything as disgusting as that to me. In my whole life, no one has said anything as disgusting as what he said to me. But I didn't let that stop me from pursuing what I wanted to pursue, which was to talk about Tottenham Hotspur. To feel connected to a club that I'm thousands of miles away from. Because I love this club. And I love the people that stood by me all this time behind the scenes. I love all the people that still ride with me. I love the people who I recently just met. They hear my story. They say, I will never work with that swine piece of shit for you. Not because you asked, not because I wanted you to. I said you should. Shout out Hassam. This is a guy who was approached by Stelios, Don Hassam. I do weekly shows. I'll work my ass off for Dom Hassam. That's my dog. I'll work my ass off for him. Because I explained all this I said to you. And I've explained it all to him. And he said, this guy's been trying to get on my channel. He's been trying to get on Footy Judge Mo's channel. And we just wanted to know, is all these rumors true? I said, all those rumors are true and then some, buddy. Just wait till you see the whole fucking iceberg. And when they even got a glimpse of what the underbelly was, which is only a good part of what I've shown you today, what I've not shown and what I've mostly spoke about, which again, I have the proof of. I will find the time to be petty and pull it all up from a hard drive that I have right here in this bin. But I choose to move on with my life. I hope to move on from this, but if I don't give a fuck. You want to drag me into some kind of, oh my God, he said this? I don't give a fuck, dog. I don't give a fuck. You can send all the hate mail, all the troll accounts you want, and I'm not so sure that he's not behind all these accounts that go around and abuse Paul and abuse Sava and try to pin them against each other. Because the same account was saying to Paul horrendous things like what was said to me in a voice note on WhatsApp. Said the same thing to Paul, and that same account was saying the same things, not same things, but same level of disgusting shit that it unified Paul and Sava. And then obviously this video and stuff like, and then they got some stuff to work out, which I thought that this video would help them end. But now I had to change. I had to switch it up on the fly. And I just said, oh, fuck it, bro. I'm going to get up here and just talk about my truth. What I went through with that pussy. Yeah, you heard me, bitch. You're a pussy. And I'll say it to your face when I'm beating your fucking face. I don't give a fuck. Over dinner, over tea, I'll beat your ass. I'll give you a glass of water right afterwards and then slap it right out of your hands and slap you in the face again and then pick that water back up, refill it and say, drink up. You need to stay hydrated because water is a very big deal. So you should stay hydrated. And I would make sure that even after I slapped his pony ass around, whoever want to fucking stand up for him too, you could catch these fucking hands. Ain't the first time I fought more than one dude at a time. Hey, I hope it ain't gonna be the last. Help me, give me a reason. That's all I'm saying. So this ain't no keyboard warrior shit. This is you went for my family. I held it in. Now you coming for my name again? Now the cat's out of the bag. Schrodinger's cat? Now we know the cat is alive. It jumped out of the box. How about that? What happens to the cat now? I don't fucking know. If I go through the messages that I was receiving, please don't do this. This is not a good idea. Don't do it. Don't do it. No, Jacob, don't. No, don't do it, Jacob. Yeah. Hey, are you going to do what you do? You're going to do what you do, but I hope the stream is delayed because you're reconsidering. Either way, hope things are good with you and your family. And this is a guy who streams on his stuff not very long ago, if I'm not mistaken, who just sent me that. I still hope your family's good, even though I'm a part of this fucking problem. You see how easy it is to be a decent human being? I know you rightly have beef with Stel, buddy, but is this stream good for your own channel? This could look really bad, mate. You're right. It might. But I don't give a fuck anymore. Because if you heard my story today and you're like, ew, I don't want to fuck with that channel anymore, good. I hope you unsubscribe. I hope you go somewhere else. Because again, after this, and if I have to address it again, I will. But the next show I'm planning on doing will be back to my immaculate vibes. It will be back to my usual programming. But I'm not going to let nobody, no matter how big they think they are, even though he's 5 foot tall, no, 5'1" or 2, something like that, which my 4-year-old's almost as tall as you fucking bum. But no matter how big his channel is, how big he think he is, how big he tries to get, because he tries to snake his way to the channels that I'm on. He tries to snake his way. Oh, Jacob's on the football terrace. He's a happy clapper. Don't listen to him, Alan. Don't think I didn't see that. I didn't say shit when he's commenting in the football terrace's chat. Oh, don't listen to him, Alan. Jacob's just a happy clapper. Who cares, bro? He's just talking shit about my football opinion. I don't give a fuck. But today, he wanted to make it personal. Today, he wanted to try and push on me. And I'll tell you what, in real life, it's physically impossible for you to push me around. And online, it is no longer possible for you to push me around. I don't care what snaky ways you try to shut me down, get this down. I don't give a fuck, dog. Because I'm here, I'm doing my fucking thing. And I don't give a fuck what you or anyone who's like, oh my God, Jacob shared his truth, his horrible experience with a shit person, a horrible human being, someone I wouldn't even spit on if they were on fire. I might piss on him, but only if it's for urinary relief. But if he's on fire, I'd probably light a fucking cigar off the fucking fire. That's how I feel about it, because he want to talk about my son. And if you have a problem with me feeling that way, fuck you. You don't like what I said today? That's okay. You want to support him? That's okay. You want to work with him? That's okay. I don't give a fuck what anybody does. But what I won't do is allow this little tiny man in a little tiny screen try to act like he could threaten Paul, take your video down. Wah, it's bringing abuse. What about the abuse you give people? Not just me. People since me, before me. Fuck you. You deserve every fucking thing you get. That's where I'm gonna leave it today. I didn't even read the chat, but big up the fucking chat. Big up everybody. I'm so fucking pissed. I'm gonna hug the shit out of my beautiful family. And you know what you ain't gonna do tonight? That!